Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hustle Haven. I am your host, Taisha Renee.
And I'm River the Realtor.
And you guys, we are back with another helpful and resourceful episode. Today, we are going to give you the reasons and kind of talk through the scenarios of why, the common reasons that businesses fail.
Yeah.
So I feel like we talk about the success and how to be successful and what we need to do to get there. But let's talk about when we probably hit that success or don't hit that success. And then it just kind of goes away.
And let's talk about this in more of a preventative measure, because it's not that we want y'all business to fail. We want to shed light on these things so that you can know what not to do and prevent your business from failing.
This is not like,
preventative.
Okay, period. Let's start with number one. Let's get right into it.
Let's get into it.
You guys do not market, research your markets.
Okay.
You say hey, I want to create sweaters or hoodies, or I want to be a makeup artist, and then you just get on Instagram, you just start posting.
Yeah.
But are you posting material that your audience wants to see?
Yep.
Are you posting at 12 o'clock? Is that when your audience is mostly on Instagram? You have to do your market research to know exactly whatever you're trying to sell, whatever you're trying to promote, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, doing the research to know how can I make this successful? What will make my business successful?
Absolutely. I think the second, I feel like when it comes to doing market research, it's two legs of it. The first thing is doing the research to figure out who is your target audience. Right. You can go into a business saying my target audience is millennials, they do this or that. And then if you see an overflow of people who are in an entirely different demographic supporting your business, that is your market. The market cannot be what you want it to be. It has to be who your business is actually servicing, and you have to be okay with pivoting that. Mm-hmm. I think the second thing is about, like you said, the actual market research. Now that you've figured out who your audience is, what does your audience really want to see from you? Mm-hmm. And we talked about this a little bit on a social media episode when we talked about branding. But sometimes it's not about what you want. And I know that sucks because you have this whole envision of this is what I want for my business. But what do the people that pour into your business want? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie. I did not want to be on Instagram talking. And
oh, my gosh. That's a great, and I mean I just realized example.
That is really what my target audience wants. The people who flock to me or people who seek me out to be their agent, they're looking for someone who's going to be assertive, someone that is going to be knowledgeable, somebody who is not afraid to be Mm-hmm. And so seeing me on this podcast, seeing me on these platforms, having those conversations, everyone who comes to me on social media be the reason I came to you was because these were the qualities that I saw in you. And you get that through hearing me speak. Mm-hmm. So I think doing your market research really plays a role in who is the audience, but then what does that audience want to see before I give them a product that I'm going to deliver?
That is a great point, because I feel that same way. I feel you know how I hate recording. Today, y'all, I'm just recording my daily life. I don't know when I'm going to create the video, but I hate it.
But that is your best. That's your most watched content.
Yeah, when I post things what I'm doing, the comments, the likes, the shares, they're exactly what I want. I'm dang.
Yeah.
Now y'all don't want to see the houses no more.
They don't want to see pictures of
they don't even like my houses. And I hate that. Be posting some nice houses.
And they don't like that anymore. And I think, again, that's the market research. Really understanding the market you serve, understanding the who you serve, why you serve it, and what it is they want from you when you are serving them. If you don't do that, you're honestly having a blind business and you don't know where you're going to end up.
Exactly. But let's talk about when you just genuinely, and I mean genuinely, don't know who you want your target audience to be. I know for me, especially when I first started my business, I was dang, who do I want? Who is my ideal client? And I feel I really didn't learn that until I started getting clients. I started interacting with people. I started seeing the processes of interacting with for some home buyers versus relocation versus new construction versus all these things. So I feel we have to also say that it's kind of okay if you don't know at first. But as long as you're tracking your social media, looking at your algorithms, looking at, putting your profile on that business profile and tracking okay, I posted this, I have this much interactions, I have this much comments, et cetera, and kind of figuring it out and just not going with the flow the entire time.
Yeah.
But not stressing yourself out as well in the beginning. It's I really don't know. Who,
and it's okay.
Who can I cater to?
I think it's okay to not go into things knowing exactly who the audience is, but I think you got to work backwards. You have to start with, first of all, what is the business?
You have to just start, first of all.
First of all, you got to just, shout out to Ikram. What you say?
Shout out, you just got to
The best advice is you have to start,
just
but you have to start with something in mind. So even if you don't know exactly who, you need to know what it is that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Think about what your actual goal is. Think about who you want to become, how you want to saturate the market. And I think you find your audience based on who gravitates towards what it is you already want to do. Mm-hmm. I think when you set the precedent of, for me, I knew that the overall goal and theme in my business is that I want to bridge the gap of home ownership amongst minorities and people of color, like just people of color in general. And so that's the what. The who came because now that I'm showing y'all what, okay, this demographic that falls within that very broad scope is starting to fall into this. Okay, now I'm going to really segue into you guys. But if you don't even know, if you're just doing something to be doing it, that is another reason I feel like businesses fail. When you just wake up one day and say, oh, I want an e-commerce business just because I want some money.
Yeah. So
get something else to do. Just find something
figuring
else
out that why. And like they always say, if your why is solely I want to make money, it's just not going to work. Because as an entrepreneur, we're going to have those seasons where we make $0 and 0 cents.
And if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to stand for that.
If you're not passionate, you're not going to do it. You're going to be like, girl, let me go get a job. I don't got time for this. So
if you just want to make money, my biggest thing is just go to the casino. You don't have to be passionate about that, but you can still leave with a lot of money. I feel like that's a really, really, but don't just start a business with that in mind.
Just because I want to start a business because this is my passion. I can see myself doing this for life.
Exactly.
Forever.
Passion really produces results. You have to have it at the core of your business. And again, it really stops you. It's a preventative way to make sure you have longevity in your business.
Yeah, agreed. Let's go on to the second reason. Okay. So the number 2 reason why most businesses fail is going to be because of poor financial management, y'all. Y'all get the money and y'all spend the money on what and whoever. You get one big check and now you buying shots for everybody at brunch. Ooh.
I'm not going to lie. I got that real bad. Don't put a little money in my pocket, baby. I'm outside. I put it on.
Let's go, y'all. I got drinks on me.
Girl, y'all know everybody who know me know I like to put it on the floor. Okay, I get real busy in those places where money goes on the floor. That's a real big problem. I obviously I have allocation.
Right.
You know me,
which you've preached before of these different accounts. As long as you follow on a bunch out of that fun account and that fun account
and not your financial account,
then I mean, shoot, live your best life.
Yeah, I think the finance part of it is that again, you get your big check, and instead of putting some of that money back into your business to buy more resources to put into your marketing, you just think like, I got it now, and that this is going to continuously work. And I think we get so caught up when we reach a certain level of success, or we've pivoted, or we've had that first big sale like we do in real estate, and we feel like, oh, I got it now. But it's like, once that sale is done, what have you done to get the next one?
You got it right now.
What do you got it now?
You got it a month from now, 2 months from now. Like, do you got it for real? I feel like in no instance as an entrepreneur there's no way that you bring in any type of money, whether it's $100, whether it's $1,000, $10,000, and you're not putting it back into your business.
Hello.
I don't care if you I feel like even millionaires, like any money that you're bringing in, if a portion of that is not going back into the growth of your business, that's insane to me.
It's giving bankrupt.
That's insane because where is it going?
No, I feel like we hear this all the time. You gotta spend money to make money. And so I do believe in like the organic ways of growing business, organic marketing, word of mouth, family and friends, and those things are great. But even with that, like we talk about having to use money to pour back into that. Even if you're like Taisha, her business is not solely, but majority based 90%. Off of referrals from our family and friends, you still have to pour into your family and friends to make sure that works. So even when people say, well, I'm using organic things so I can use this for your money, even those organic ways of doing things, there's a ticket for that. Right. So I think understanding, again, having a financial plan and really understanding, okay, this is how much I need in overhead to make sure my business stays afloat. This is how much I need in order to, pay out my people that I've given different tasks to. And then this is how much I have. And really live within your business means. I think people talk about
living within your means is something that people don't like to do.
No, because people get confused about what means mean. Y'all think when we say don't live beyond your means is what you like to do.
Right.
Them not your means. It's really what you're allowed to do. And even within your business, you have business means.
Right.
Stop overspending. Stop getting a photographer for every closing. If you only got one closing a quarter, you might want to spend that money to get you an extra closing.
Photography is not benefiting your business.
Hello.
Like, for example, like for me, I get the photography because literally, and this is no lie, when I get clients and we're under contract, they're like, I can't wait
to closing day.
Like, I can't wait for the champagne and the photography. Like, they look forward to that.
And that is now parts of our business.
Yes.
And we have funds for that as well. So I think it's just about being responsible in how you plan in the finances instead of just doing everything, throwing all this money, and now you don't have any, and you don't have a business either.
Yeah, I think that goes back into having your systems, having your databases and your processes in place so you can look back and see what's bringing you money and what's not. And if it's not bringing you money, it's time to cut that dead weight.
What they say, if it don't make dollars,
It don't make sense.
It don't make sense.
Period. Now let's go into one of the third reason, and that's going to be the ability to not adapt. Ooh. You are stuck in one place. Like, we all know that, like, every day, regardless of what industry you're in, I don't care if you do eyebrows, do nails, I don't care what it is, it's changing. The wants and needs of your consumers and your clients are changing every single day. And if you're not keeping up with these changes, you're going to be left behind.
One of the very first brokerages that I worked with, we had this like mentor coaching kind of thing. And they paired me with someone, what do they call them?
Seasoned.
The seasoned agent. So she had Laurie's on her. She was super seasoned. I mean, she was Black and Cajun seasoned, honey. Okay. She had been in the game for a very long time. And she was very knowledgeable when it came to like real estate as a business in terms of like the contract, the processes and all of those things. But then I'm noticing like, her book of business is how she sustains her real estate, but she wasn't getting no new clients. Right. Like, people were not just seeking Miss Thing out, and she was just like popping her top, like, yeah. But
I mean, if it's
good, but no, it works. But my overall point to her was, you have a book of business because of what you've been doing. Mm-hmm. So these same clients, but for somebody who was new in this game, I can't use that strategy. Mm-hmm. That's not the wave anymore. People are not doing newspaper articles saying, hire me as your realtor. It's the social media. It's the brand. It's the marketing. She like, I don't get into all of that.
And you don't have to. But as my mentor, you need to be helping me to
understand those changes. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, everything, again, to your point, every industry has changes. Fashion industry changes. Y'all remember, I was just talking about this. Y'all remember those stacked joggers? That was like a really hot thing. And
that went away pretty quick.
That went away. I had a friend who was like, I'm about to get on this wave, blah, blah, blah. And all he was doing was making stacked joggers. And then people stopped wearing that. He ended up having all this extra inventory. He like, I don't even know what to do. He every week, flash sale. And somebody commented like, is this business a flash sale? Like, what's going on? But he wasn't able to adapt.
Because you got to do it quick.
Everything is
you can't wait like, I'm going to do it next month. It might not be in next month.
What did they say? You sitting on the couch. Now. You don't know what to do. You thinking maybe next year. No, do it now.
Do it now. Oh my God. What commercial is that?
I don't know. Some
it's a college or something like that. But yeah, like, you have to do it now. Like, if you think that the way that you started this business yesterday is going to sustain this business for years and years and years to come, baby, that's one of the most common reasons.
Yeah. I think that new wave is going to always wash you out if you're not willing to swim with the fishes. You literally have to get in there and be like, you know what? If the new thing is saying that we got to, I don't know, door knock. Baby, you need to be outside knocking on doors. You can't just wait on your moment to think that things are going to revert back to what you used to know because you're too scared to like go out on a limb and try the things that you see are working.
Like with social media kind of took a whirlwind. Like, people are going up on social media. And I'm going to speak for myself. I should have did more on social media. Like, I feel like I'm coming in late to the hype, to the whatever it's going to, because people are making a bag off of social media. Imagine if I stepped out of my comfort zone, or I just did something that I'm just not used to or not comfortable with, and just kind of did it because I know that this can work, and stop thinking about it in a way of like people want to be it. Because I always think about like, you just want to be about business because like I want to see what you're doing in your day, and more of like, this is my business and this is how the success of my business can come. But you know, so many businesses at first were like, I'm not getting on social media. I think now you're seeing these brands come on here, they got commercials, they're doing reels, they're doing partnerships. Like, you thought you wasn't getting on social media.
But you are. The good thing is, though, with social media, and I had to learn this the hard way, is that you really can't choose what you want to put out there.
Yeah.
Because I felt the same way. Like, I'm not posting this because I don't want y'all in my business. And I don't have to put y'all in my business, but I can share just enough with y'all to let y'all know that I have business.
Period. Ooh.
And you might want to get in there and get in. You might want to get in the business, but I'm not going to put that out for the... I think that's the biggest thing. Being adaptable and really, again, stepping out your comfort zone. I think we see this the most in transition from like corporate to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like, when you're in corporate, what it takes to be successful
is different.
It might be putting your head down and being on the computer and being timely and all of these things. That's great. Then you start your own business. It's about being vocal, putting yourself out there, stepping out your comfort zone. You're not used to that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like whatever you feel uncomfortable, we have a reel on our page. Shout out to Marquia. She said, if you have an idea and you think it's a crazy idea, you need to go with that, because most people have the same general idea. The thing that you think is crazy is the thing that's going to pop. And I think that's really what we have to remember if we want to have successful businesses. Keep doing something different and like, just go with what's going.
Yeah, I agree. I'm aligned with that. Let's go into the last reason.
Okay.
And that's going to be ignoring the feedback that you're getting. some people are so stuck in their ways. Like, you can have a client and think they're so perfect and think they're running their business like exactly how it should be run. But you can have a client that say, hey, like, I don't think you had the best communication, or I don't think you were as patient with me as you could have been. And instead of being combative, write it down, take notes, reevaluate yourself when you're dealing with your client so that you can improve on these things.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not doing that, and if she tells you you're not being patient, imagine who else feeling the same way. And you're like, girl, you're the first person that told me that. She's the first person that told you that.
But how many people feel like that?
But how many people feel like that? And how many referrals are you getting? Or how many people are directing their family and friends to your website, to whatever. Like, whatever feedback you're getting, like, you have clothes and like, oh, this shrunk the first time I put it in the washer. Like, I'm not buying from y'all again. Like, now you need to invest in better quality stuff. You need to listen to what the people you are trying to serve, what they are saying, so that you can improve your business.
And I think you said something that I love. Like, sometimes I don't even think it's about y'all being combatives. Y'all real tender.
Oh, yeah, you sensitive.
Y'all so tender. Like, please just let the tenderness go. Try a little less tenderness. And the reason I say that is because I think criticism is not meant to hurt you. It's meant to help you.
Yeah.
And delivery is everything, right? If somebody is coming at you sideways, I can see that, hurting your ego. But if it's a client that has respect for you, and you have mutual respect with them, and they're just saying, you know what, Taisha, I appreciate all that you've done. Here's the area of improvement.
Right.
Here's something that you did that I feel like could have been handled a different way. And I'm not saying this because I don't respect you, but I'm just saying this because as a consumer, this is how I feel. Mm-hmm. You should take that with a grain of salt and be so appreciative, because to Taisha's point, there's so many people out here that probably feel some type of way about these brands and this, and that, but they will never say nothing. Do y'all know how many bad products I've gotten? And I could have emailed them and just say, hey, here's my feedback to help that business be better. So for me, anytime somebody gives me critique or criticism, I'm grateful for that. Because that's something that I can change in the area of my business to make sure I don't be a repeat offender. Yeah. That's y'all problem. Y'all are repeat offenders. Y'all will do the same thing over and over and over and over again and not make those changes, and then be wondering like, well, why don't nobody want to do this? Like, are y'all really listening? Right. And I got making the changes when they come to your face.
And you know, one thing that comes to mind when I think about that, like from a consumer standpoint, anywhere that I go, shop, whatever, I gotta have reviews. I gotta see
and pictures.
What people, Google reviews, Yelp, I'm on there heavy because I need to know. Like, I'm not going till I know it's good. But one thing that I do always take note of is like when people are leaving reviews or comments and the owner, their response to it. Like, you see owners like, thank you so much, we'll do better next time. But you got other owners that will be like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about because on this day, X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to support that business.
Yeah.
Because obviously the customer is saying this, not to say like the customer is always right.
But there's customer always a way is always
to handle situations. Like, you're so combative, that tells me like, you probably got a bad attitude and I just don't want to work with you. Versus the next person who's probably selling the same product, doing the same service, probably has similar feedback, comes back and say, thank you for this, whatever. We'll be sure to improve this on your next visit. Please, get 15% off. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm like, okay, now I'm about to go to the competitor because this is the type of service I like. In the event that it doesn't work out, I know that this person's going to be respectful and they're going to take what I'm saying as something that's good for them versus like being combative with me.
And to this point, I used to hate that saying the customer's always right, but until I got into a client serving business, I did not understand that the client truly is always right, because we as business owners, we people that own and operate our own businesses, we can't tell a consumer how to feel about something. We can do our very, very best. And sometimes your best is just not going to be good enough for everybody.
Right.
That is okay. I'm not everybody's realtor. Again, I will say it 100 times. You either love me or you hate me. Okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So if I'm not somebody's cup of tea and they give me that feedback, you are right. I can't challenge your experiences, but I can use that as a room for growth rather than trying to tell you like, you just ain't want to work with me because I'm too good for this. People, again, y'all tender and combative. Just take heed to what people are saying. Use everything as a growth opportunity, because again, in these businesses, our only ways to really assess ourselves is to the people we serve. We don't have a manager telling us.
Hear what you're saying and improve and get better. And it's okay if you messed up that time. Just do better the next time.
What do they say? If at first you don't succeed,
pick yourself up and try again. Oh, it's dust yourself off.
I think it's dust, but okay.
And try again. And if you're looking for a singer or something, you already know.
Yes,
that was pretty good.
That was. I love that.
But while there are like many reasons we're sure that businesses may not make it, they may not succeed, these are the top 4 that we've kind of seen and we've kind of are familiar with and want to give you knowledge on. So we thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you do not do these things. And if there's any other reasons that you feel like we should have mentioned, make sure you drop it in the comments. We want to know. Like, put us on, because
Your feedback is important.
Your feedback is important to us. We're not trying to have our business fail.
Exactly. We're here for y'all. We for the people.
And with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, share this episode, every single episode previous to this and after this. We appreciate your support. And as always, we'll see y'all next week or the week after that.
Yeah, period. See you guys.